Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Heck here. So today we are going to be drawing our own version of Zeta the Poinsettia as the book that I read to you earlier. And here is my poinsettia plant. So you can see the red leaves and the little yellow flowers on the inside and the beautiful green on the bottom. But remember, poinsettias come in lots of different colors. So it's okay if your poinsettia is not red. It could be any color that you want. And you can celebrate with poinsettias the entire year, but this is the time of year where you see them in the stores the most. For this project, you are going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, a crayon. It doesn't have to be black. It'd be any color you want. And if you are painting with us today, you're going to be using your watercolor paints and some water and a clean area, a safe area to paint in so you don't make a mess. If you don't have paints at home, you can simply color your poinsettia with whatever you have at home. Crayons, markers, oil pastels, anything you have is fine. As always, we're going to start with our piece of paper and our pencil so we can draw some shapes to make our poinsettia plant. And I am going to start up here towards the top of my paper. My paper is vertical. I'm going to draw a circle. If you want to trace a circle, you can certainly find something to trace, but poinsettias are never perfect. So I'm just going to draw the circle, and this is going to be for Zeta, or our version of Zeta's face. So we'll have her face right here in the middle. And before I draw all of the little leaves and plants around her, I'm going to draw these little circles, and you can draw them only on top if you want, or I'm going to actually go all the way around. This is going to indicate the little yellow flowers that you often see in the center of every single poinsettia, no matter what color it is. So now I've made a circle with lots of little teensy weensy circles all the way around the edges. And so I'm going to start with a leaf, just one leaf. So to make my leaf where I want it to be, I'm going to put a little dot over here, and then I'm going to draw almost like it starts skinny and it gets wider, and that will be one leaf. You might have other easier ways to draw your leaf, but I find by going down and out, that's a great way to draw some poinsettia leaves. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way around. Don't worry if your leaves end up looking a little weird or crooked, because poinsettia leaves are all a little bit different. They're all a little bit bumpy or lumpy. They might be wide. They might be a little crooked in some spots. So however your leaf is going to look, your petal is going to look, since we know they're actually leaves, they're not really petals, you can put those in there the way you see fit. But I always make the bottom wider than the top, so I'm going to do that with all of them. So I put a little dot out here where I think I want the length of my poinsettia leaf to be, and then I'm going to put my curved leaves, pointy on the ends, curved in the middle. Now poinsettias have lots of layers of leaves, so I am going to actually put these little mountains in between so that he or she, yours could be a boy poinsettia, is going to have some extra leaves in there to make it look a little fuller and a little less like a daisy. So there we go, more layers of leaves, these little mountains on the inside. Now our Zeta is going to have a stem, but of course we don't want it just to be a simple line. We want it to be a little thicker than a line, so I'm going to give it 2 lines right there. Okay, at the bottom I'm going to give it a little smile to keep my leaf looking, my stem looking a little more 3D. I'm going to draw a little arm here. It's going to be a little leaf arm, so I'm going to double that up a little bit, and then I'm going to give a little leaf arm here. There we go, almost like a pointy mitten, almost like crab or a lobster claw in a way, and your arms can go whichever direction you want. And here we go, another leaf there. And we can put a little line in those leaves as well. Even in our poinsettias, we're going to put some little lines on the inside too, because you do see that little line inside since they're leaves inside all of those poinsettias. So we did this a little quickly. Okay, so now we need the pot which our poinsettia is going to be in. So I am going to give a little smile at the bottom under my poinsettia. So there's my smile. I'm going to draw 2 little vertical lines. And then I'm going to draw another smile under that. So that's 2 smiles right there. Underneath that, I'm going to draw 2 more lines. And if you have space, you can draw yet another smile. If you don't have space and you want it to fall off the paper, artists love when things fall off the paper, but we're not finished yet. We need to continue and finish our poinsettia up here and over here, play leapfrog, so that we have this area where the dirt is, and then we can put some dirt in here so for our poinsettia to live in. If you need to make your stem a little longer, mine should be a little longer. I want her to grow out of the middle of the dirt, not out of the edge of the dirt. So I'm just going to make her a little bit longer so she fits into that planter a little better. Of course, we don't want her to float away, so we're going to give her a little landline down here so we can put it on either side of the flower pot, and that way we have some place for him or her to sit. Now, we want to draw a little face on our poinsettia, and you can draw whatever kind of face you want. Let's give him or her some eyes and a little smile. We can have our eyes looking in whatever direction that we want. And if you wanted to add eyebrows or eyelashes, you can do that. There we go. Maybe I'll even put some lips on her. Ah, there we go. So there is my Zeta the Poinsettia, the drawing. After you're done, once again, we're going to outline as much as we can. Or if you're just coloring, you can simply just color. So I'm just going to quickly outline as much as I can on my poinsettia here. If you want to use different colors, you can. You might want to use red for your leaves. You might want to use white around your leaves. White crayon's fun to outline with as well. So it doesn't have to be black. But you guys know Mrs. Heck's favorite color is black, so I always end up outlining with black. And the lines on the inside too. But don't worry if they're not perfect, because poinsettias are not perfect. So I'm going to put my lines in there very quickly. Here we are, one at a time. You, of course, can go as slowly as you'd like to. Artists often have to take their time with their different steps so that they can work carefully and get all of the little details in that they would like to add to their poinsettias. Here's my little stem here, now that I know what I'm keeping. And again, your stem and your hand leaves, you might want to do those in green crayon, since that part is definitely usually green. And my pot, guess what? You can decorate your pot any way you want. So maybe there are some designs, some artsy designs on your pot here, on your flower pot. So you can have some zigzag lines. There could be some polka dots. There could be some more flowers. Okay, you can have some fun with decorating your flower pot. So once you are done with all of your outlining, then you get to color or paint, whichever you choose to do. Today, I am going to paint. Today, you might decide to paint too. So here we go, just like before. We take our brush out. Oh, I lost a few colors here. I'm going to decide what color my poinsettia is going to be. Oh, I missed a couple lines, just saw them. And add some water. And then I'm going to add a little paint. And then I'm going to paint in my poinsettia in some beautiful colors that I would like my poinsettia to be. Who knows? Maybe someday there'll be a poinsettia in even more colors than what we see today. Remember, your painting skills, take your time when you paint. I like to paint my edges first, and then I paint the rest of my painting kind of like I'm petting a kitten. One petal at a time. If you need your paint to be a little darker, mix the paint a little more with a little less water. If you want your red to be a little lighter, like a pink poinsettia, which do exist, Just mix a little more water in there and you will get a much lighter red, which will basically look like a pink. So while I finish painting this, I hope you guys have fun painting yours as well. Happy drawing, happy painting. Bye guys.